Good morning. Yeah, it's been a miserable week, guys. It's been a miserable week. Why has it been a miserable week? Because I'm not even sure what got replaced. Part of the AC busted. Might be down here. It all looks wet down there. I don't see anything new down there. But part of the air conditioner busted. One of the pipes busted on Tuesday while they were in the shop. While the truck was in the shop for overheating, not related to AC at all, but just to cooling. We'll actually see today as we drive if they've fixed the cooling issue. But they just called me. Truck is done. They're gonna park it outside. And they're like, we'll just leave the keys on the dipstick. I'm like, no, you're not. You're gonna keep those keys. Oh yeah, that's right. Why is this so much heavier with one hand? Because I keep one set of keys on myself and they put their other key in their safe. I'm like, I just like it that way. That way I can just drop a truck here without leaving my keys on the dipstick and risking someone breaking into the truck. We've got too much valuable stuff in here. Go get our trailer again for the second time this week. Garmin, I have to get my trailer first, okay? So just chill. I honestly can't remember what Monday's video was. Trying to think what Monday's video was, and I can't remember. Maybe by the time I'm grabbing my trailers, I'll remember what this week's videos are. Fridays is driving with my windows open like this at high speed. Crazy noise on the microphone. Fridays and Wednesdays videos are going to be hard to understand because with no AC, my windows are open. So Friday's video is climbing the Monachies. So that'll be a fun climb. That kid just abandoned their scooter and ran. I wonder if he stole the scooter from someone. I'll work my way backwards. That was Friday's video. What is Wednesday's video? Wednesday's video is driving up Okanagan Valley past Kalamalka Lake and through Vernon. That one's neat, but once again, really loud. Now for Monday's video. What was Monday's video? That was where my problems began. So my problems began on Sunday. Driving over the mountain, I was overheating. So I loaded. Did I load? No, I think I went empty. Empty over Pulson. Man, where did I shoot a video on Monday? I did, right? I shot a video. going for it. I can't remember, guys. It'll be a surprise. I still had AC on Monday. Now, I'm going to quickly grab this load, deliver it tomorrow, and then come back home. Because it's late. It's running, the load's running late thanks to all my breakdowns, but we'll get it delivered. It's only the front trailer there. Let's get the plastic bag off of the kingpin. Greasy plastic bag, clean kingpin, or clean kingpin lock. Whoa! Wind is not helpful. Okay. Hook onto the trailer, air it up, and then hammer down. I've already done a pre-trip on it, so I don't need to. Don't need to do another one today because it's already been done once. Just hook up, make sure all the lights are working, but hook up and go. A little crooked. Let's just get that a little better. With the wide load mirrors, it's harder to aim than with the regular mirrors. I got it, I got it. We're hooked on. Let's do it the violent way. At least we have air. And now we can check the lights. Need to actually grab the handle. Works better that way. Provide air to the trailer. That's the brakes for the trailer. This the brakes for the truck. So the truck brakes are still on. Trailer brakes are releasing. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. I don't remember. Sure the kingpin is locked. It is. Gonna check down there. Another easy way is making sure that pin right there is all the way clicked in, that bolt. Air up the suspension. Always drop the suspension before dropping the trailers, or else they can break your landing gear clean off. Fold them in half. That all aired up. Suspension's going to come up. They're all, right now the tire is almost touching that aluminum cover. Lift our landing gear. Landing gear's up. Air is coming up. I see we have lights. Yep, there's already a gapper building there. It's got a way to go, but I don't have all my lights on. I just want to make sure there's a connection. Like, these lights won't turn on until I turn my headlights on. because I have just that many switches for lights. Oh yeah, still the toolbox is locked. To remember that. Gotta unlock those toolboxes. Okay. As for light switches, I've got 2 light switches right here, and those 2 control these rear load lights, bright LED load lights. So when I'm reversing at night, I turn those on. None of those are lights. That is a light switch, but it doesn't go anywhere. And then I have, that is my fog lights. This is my auxiliary lights. That's the lights that control the light behind the mirror there. And then I've got just trailer lights, other marker lights like the roof marker lights, and then I've got parking lights on the truck, and then my headlights. So I don't know why I have so many choices of lights, but I can almost choose and pick which lights to use when driving. Alright, I'm going to arrive at 9:30. Always look in my mirrors. Make sure I'm not leaving any black marks behind me, just in case one of the brakes is locked up. It's always nice to do a left and a right like I just did here. That way in the mirrors you can actually see the trailer tires rotating. Come on. Don't give me the delayed green light. I guess I should close the windows. I made you guys listen to way too much of this loud noise this week. Hopefully I don't have too many people unsubscribing due to the terribly loud noise, but it is what it is. Go. Get the AC going.
Turn right on Main Street.
The sun is already set. But these cameras are really good until it gets really dark. Cameras are all really good until it gets dark, like pitch black. And then at pitch black, it gets... Why is there a car parked in there? Hopefully they meant to be there. At pitch black, the dash cam still does really well, but the other cameras don't. But the dash cam is the newest of all our video cameras. The dash cam is the newest one. Dash cam is an Osmo Action Cam, DJI Osmo Action 5. All the rest of them are Osmo 3s.
Then take the first left.
Carmen, what are you talking about?
Turn left on Atkinson Street, then turn left.
Don't worry about that sign that says no right-hand turns on red. Pickup just went anyway. Well, that scooter that got abandoned is no longer there, so somebody picked it up.
Turn left on Frankfurt Drive, then take the first left.
So I was like, I can just record a video tomorrow morning. And then I'm like, no, I can't, because tomorrow morning all it is going to be driving from Merritt over the connector. And that's going to be a boring video. Leaving Penticton and seeing Okanagan Lake is going to be a lot more interesting than the boring connector in the morning driving directly into the sun. Because that's all I'm doing is basically, I'm driving 2.5 hours to the customer tonight and then 2.5 hours back home tomorrow. And then next week, hopefully, is just a normal week. I could go with just a nice normal week. I mean, some Alberta would be cool too.
Turn right on Duncan Avenue West. Turn right on Highway 97.
Or Saskatchewan or Manitoba. They have advanced green for turning, which means I'm good to go. Okay. So Monday's video, I know I had Enter for Adams Lake on the load. Where did I deliver to?
1.5 kilometers.
Reload and
Turn
trail.
left on Highway 97.
I think Monday's video is, I start record. I think, yeah, okay. Monday's video is loading. So there's a loading video. You guys, I think I've been doing those. I think you guys are liking those where I got the camera up back and just see the forklift loading. Even if I don't have time to talk to you guys, just use a couple of clips of the forklift loading me or whatever is loading me. I think people are going to like those. I haven't been doing those for very long yet, so we'll see as more and more of those videos come out. I'm trying to do as many of those loading videos as I can. Try to get it at least once a week for sure. But Monday's loading at Inter4 Grand Forks and then driving over Eholt and me concerned about me overheating the whole way. So so Grand Forks,
Traffic light.
beautiful green, and then through Greenwood, Midway. By the time we hit Midway, everything is now dusty, brown, golden. Everything's dead. There is no more green. And then we climb, start climbing Anarchist, just the bottom, just a little bit to the first hairpin. And as we climb at the end of the video, at last hairpin, keep an eye on those motorcyclists. They're crazy. Crazy. Passing on a double solid on a hairpin where they can't see what's coming up ahead. It's like, that's nuts. Just nuts. It's like, you got away with it, but how many near misses do you have before it turns into an actual fatality? There we go. We'll be like, oops, still signaling. We'll be like 20 minutes into the video before we even leave town. Okay. So last night there was a big fire by Peachland. An RV crashed, had an accident or something like that, and started a fire. And so Highway 97 was closed all of last night due to a wildfire that started because of the RV. That was up by Peachland somewhere. Oh man, it's nice in here. So the truck was down on Tuesday, but all of Wednesday and Thursday, oh, it was only 2 days. 2 days of that miserable, loud driving with my windows open, the wind buffeting into my eyes. It was only 2 days of that, but oh, it was a miserable 2 days. What are you going to do if they don't have the part in? The closest buy part was in Prince George. I'm just happy that the boss got me into the shop a second time this week and just have the AC fixed. The last time the boss called me, I'm like, make the phone call short because I got to close the windows just so I can hear you on my Bluetooth and you can understand me, and it's hot in here, so you're torturing me. He goes, okay, I'll shut up and hang up soon. Yeah, I think the boss gave me this partial load just to get me home. It's like, hey, this load goes past the shop that ordered the part. It's a lot cooler today. It's still 27 degrees Celsius right now, but a lot cooler today than the beginning of the week. Keep an eye on my oil temperature. All of next week's video is just going to be me keeping an eye on oil temperature, me reading out the oil temperature. Right now we're sitting at 210 Fahrenheit. This is a super light load. The front 3 pallets are concrete blocks, so that's the only heavy part. And then just a couple of stacks of empty pallets. Making that rattling noise. It's my water bottle. Okay, figured it out. It's annoying. It's louder than all the rest of the rattles. Now all those pallets are also banded together into stacks of 9, so those pallets are 2 stacks of banded pallets on top of each other. I'm not sure why the place banded them together. any other place I've ever picked up empty pallets, they were just stacks. The fact that they're banded together makes these so much more stable. Having said that, they're all awkward sizes and stuff like that. They're not stacked the neatest square stack. So having them banded is kind of nice on my end. It makes my life a little easier. There's a total of 7 of those. Well, not really. 6 of the big stacks and then 2 small ones. So 14 times 9 pallets, empty pallets. I was hoping for a long weekend, but all these breakdowns are kind of throwing that out. I'll still get a regular weekend. Monday's a holiday. I mean, I have to go to work on Monday afternoon, so I get 2 full days off. See, what I was talking about is like, don't speed in towns. People have a tendency of speeding in towns and not speeding outside of a town. Speeding in town, below the speed limit outside of town. I mean, it's not really a town, but still, it's more of a residential area-ish. Hallelujah for AC. Yeah, so the boss has been keeping me pretty close to home, so it's kind of hard to get the videos in. I'm glad I did. I was debating. It's like Friday's video. Do I shoot it on a Thursday or do I shoot it on Friday? And I'm like, I'll shoot it here because the scenery is beautiful. Let's shoot a video with beautiful scenery. Monashees, just in case, and then if we get an opportunity, we'll just throw those files in the garbage and shoot it again over here when we get other scenery. But we're not going to get other scenery, just you guys with this bonus video. And like I said, then I turn around and come home. There's not going to mean much anything else. Oh, they were saying the wind is going to pick up tonight. There's quite a few sailboats on the water. I don't know if that's a great idea, still being out in the water as the wind's going to pick up. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sailboats. All kind of in the same area here. Must be part of the sailboat club. Oh, that one sailboat just took their sail down. Probably going, it's getting too windy, sail's coming down. We'll use a motor to get back. Temperature at 225. That's still hot, right? Isn't that? I'll be honest, I never pay attention to where my oil temperature is because I don't have an oil temperature gauge per se. I have a Brad water temp gauge. I have that. So I got water temperature. I've got oil pressure. I've got my volts for the battery. And and a bunch of other gauges for suspension and fuel and DEF and fuel filter and brake application and differential temperatures. But I don't have an oil temperature or a transmission temperature on any of my gauges. But I do. What I mean is, normally I just have my radio station showing whatever's on the radio, whatever podcast I'm listening to or music I'm listening to. But there is an option in there to turn the radio display into gauges. And when I do that, on the radio I get another 6 gauges there, showing me the oil temp, the transmission temp, the boost going into the turbo, the DPF status, mile per gallon, and the torque. Currently we're at 75% torque. Miles per gallon, it says I'm averaging 3.9 miles per gallon. Or I'm using 61 liters every 100 kilometers. Sleep tonight? That is the question. Probably not in Merritt. I'll probably just get an early start tomorrow. Maybe I'll sleep on the connector at that rest area. I want to be within 1 hour. Wherever 1 hour is away from my customer. That way I can get up at 6 a.m. and deliver at 7 a.m. This customer, I've only ever picked up concrete blocks from this customer like twice, so I don't know what their starting hours are. If I know, if it's a place I go regularly, know exactly what time they show up for work and what time they start loading, sometimes I'll just sleep right in their yard. But this customer, I'm pretty sure has a gate, so I wouldn't even be able to sleep in their yard. Or maybe I could sleep on the street right by their yard. I don't even know that for sure, so I'd rather just show up at 7 a.m. and 99.9% of all customers are up and going by 7 a.m. Some of them are going at 6 a.m. Every now and then you run into one that's not going until 8 or 9 a.m. Those are always annoying. It's like you show up at 7 and they don't open till 9. I'm like, oh, my hours are running. I have to sit here for 2 hours. I had plans for those 2 hours. A beautiful lake after sunset. So since last fall, they have not enforced the speed limit here of 50 kilometers an hour in the construction zone. But last week they started enforcing it again because there's been no construction here. This is the huge landslide that we had here a few years ago. And they were slowly working on it, and then all of a sudden just all work stopped last fall. And I'm just like, what the heck? They don't work through the winter? This is the Okanagan. We can work through the winter. People leaving comments in the, it's like, yeah, they're going to work again in spring. They're going to take the winter off because it's too cold. I'm like, this is the Okanagan. They're not going to do that. It makes no sense. All summer long, they haven't worked on it. But now they've got all the traffic control reinforced again, and there's just little hints of construction equipment starting to show up again. Nothing real yet, but the police are now hanging out in here giving out speeding tickets. It's like if you were not doing construction since last fall, sure, it's down to one lane, but we drive 100 kilometers an hour in a single lane all over the country. Why can't we do 100 kilometers through this in the construction zone if there's nobody working here? Like there's weeds growing on the landslide. Like the highway's underneath that landslide. There was some kind of corruption scandal going on. The people doing the construction were embezzling government funds or something like that. So the construction stopped, not because of it got cold outside, but construction stopped because of greed. Greed stopped the construction. So the news said that they were going to resume working here, and I've seen little hints of it, and the police starting to enforce speed limits again, and just the signing and lighting that has been showing up. I'm looking forward to having the highway open again. I must admit, through all summer, I've been speeding through that zone as well. I mean, I haven't been doing 100, I've been doing like 70 through it, 70, 80, just following the traffic in front of me through whatever speed they're going. But as soon as they announce that they're going to start working on it again, I'm like, oh, okay, time to slow down to 50 again. If there's going to be construction workers, we're going to do 50. See any construction workers, but I'll still do 50 just in case. Burnt the roof of my mouth. Just made fish and chips, and I guess the fish was hotter than I expected. Hot off of the pan, still greasy, and I think it was a little bit too much of a rush to have Jess's delicious supper. Pretty dark outside Alberta for having no lights on. Ahead, the lake kind of veers off to the right. Kind of hard to see in the mountain in the background to the right, if I even am showing you as the forward facing cam. But we're going to be driving up that highway that has a scar in the middle of that mountain. Start driving up the connector, Highway 97C. Called the connector because it connected Highway 97 and Highway 5. No, 97 and 5A. because 5 had been moved from original Highway 5 to the Coquihalla by that time. Coquihalla got built before the connector. So yeah, the connector connected to Highway 5A. From 5A you can get down to Merritt. And then some years later they actually 4-laned that section of 5A between the connector and Merritt. So now you have 4-lane all the way from Peachland all the way over to Merritt. So if you live in Kelowna, you can stay on 4-lane highway all the way to Vancouver. But it's one heck of a pass, huge climb, and boring, so boring. It's one of the most unscenic highways we have. So if you guys are planning a vacation in the Okanagan, 97C, make that a getting from point A to point B only. You're not stopping to do sightseeing. It'll be boring. Unless you're hitting many of the little lakes off of the highway. In that case, she's beautiful. Those lakes are beautiful. Especially once you get to 5A, just go a little bit south, right at... There's a couple lakes kind of wedged in right at the intersection of 5A and 97C. Just a few minutes off the highway, off of Highway 5A. Gorgeous turquoise color lakes there. We had plans on going there and kayaking on one of those lakes, but that didn't work out. We're going to shoot a video of those lakes. Show the world the beautiful lakes that are over there, but we hadn't noticed that someone had tried stealing our kayaks the night before and had mangled our locks to the point where I could not unlock the kayaks when we got to the lake. So we drove to the lake and I couldn't unlock the kayaks from top of the roof rack because someone had mangled the locks so badly. I had to go back home and cut the locks off. Now right here, this is all burnt on the left-hand side. Yeah, it's all burnt, so that's where the RV. Oh man, the RV. How'd the RV end up there? Holy smokes! Right at the end over there, the RV kind of hit. Yeah, that was crazy. The RV would have been going the direction we were, and I guess just didn't make that corner and just kept driving straight. I don't know. Yeah, looks like we caught someone slow. Almost done with slow driving. Just got to go get that mountain right in front of us. We're climbing that mountain. That's all 4-lane. Waves are starting to get a little bit choppier. I think we're going to have some nice whitecaps on the lake tonight. The wind picks up. we start leaving the lake. If you want to see a good little tourist trap, exit here on the right and stay on the lake, and then check out all the little shops along the lakefront. Nice little restaurants. There's a reason why there's so many cars parked down there. Depending on the time of year you come, you're not going to find parking. It's a popular destination. So quiet today compared to the last 2 days, or just tonight. It feels awkward to me. I'm like, there's not enough noise. I need more noise. Of course, because of all that, my eyes are just so itchy, and my nose is so congested, and sore throat, and my ears are itchy. Just like I'm having a major allergy attack. Literally taking 2 allergy pills in the morning and 2 in the evening. Double the dose, but I'm looking at the dose and then what an average human being is and how much more weight and height I have than an average human being. I'm like, I can double dose just to be able to survive this crazy hay fever driving around with the windows open. Jess bought me some eye drops that are very helpful too. Before I lay down for sleep, I'm going to use those eye drops again. Or else I end up wanting to rip my eyeballs out because it's so itchy. Alberta still doesn't have their lights on in front of us, huh? Starting to get pretty dark out. I know for you guys it probably still looks pretty bright, but in the real world it's starting to get on the dark side. As long as there's still light, the cameras, like I said, do a really good job. Once it's black, then the outside cameras fail completely. But I think we'll run out of battery before that happens. Because of our mountains, sunset is the sun sets and then it's still bright outside for an hour and a half. Not bright, but it has that dusk feeling for an hour and a half to 2 hours after the sun is set. Unique feature to mountains. When you're in the prairies, once the sun sets, it gets dark really quick. Living in the prairies, it never noticed it, never occurred to me. Wasn't even something to think about. Moved to the mountains, didn't think about it. Didn't occur to me, nothing. You just get used to it, that it's still bright outside, the sunset. But then going back and visiting the prairies, I'm like, sunset, and all of a sudden just dark. It's like, whoa! That's when you notice. If you're moving from the mountains to the prairies, even just a vacation, that's when you notice how fast it gets dark in the prairies compared to in the mountains. That should be a pretty cool view looking backwards, huh? Okanagan Lake behind us. Behind us, beside us, in front of us. Okanagan Lake's a huge lake. It takes a full 2 hours to drive from one end of the lake to the other. Sure takes a lot longer to boat that. in 2 hours. And when I say 2 hours to drive, I mean at like fairly high speeds, between 70 and 100 kilometers an hour, most of it at 100 kilometers an hour. I guess not most of it, but a bunch of it. So this climb here is by far not the steepest and not the longest climb, or not the highest or the steepest climb in British Columbia, but it is one of the longest consistent climbs, where you're sitting at 8% grade for about 26, 27 kilometers. Was that 40 miles? 40 miles at an 8% grade. A little over 40 miles. And I'm not counting from here. I'm counting at the next dip. The climb does start here, but we do a little dip down. And then the real climb starts. Van in front of us has any lights on yet. Now we'll see what our temperatures look like. That cube van definitely doesn't have lights on. A lot of weight on the back, but it's still going to be fairly slow. Okay, that little climb boosted our oil temperature up to 235. But this is going to be a really good test to see if we've fixed it, if it's still going to redline or not. But to me, that's still too hot. Who knows, maybe that's just where normally this engine runs. I just haven't paid attention enough. I wasn't paying attention to the oil light temperature until I got these warnings on the dashboard to check engine. I'm like, everything looks good. And I remembered, hey, let's check out those gauges. And sure enough, one of those was flashing, like, or in the red. Yeah. This truck has got no lights on. Hopefully it's got headlights on. Small men with big hearts. Turn your lights on, bud. Turn your lights on. It's a moving company. At least they've got their daylight headlights on. Headlights are on. Better than nothing. Here's that dip I was talking about. Here we go. Now we have that consistent climb. It's going to be 8% grade. And it just keeps going. I mean, there's a little bit where the grades change a little bit for a couple of seconds, but it's still consistently up. We never go back downhill now until we get to the summit, to Penasque Summit. And you just keep climbing and climbing. And as we get into fall and winter, it's always foggy. Thick, thick fog. That's an animal bridge over top, wildlife crossing. Last time I came up this highway, I saw a moose. Here, moosey, 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 moosey. No, I tried. And like I said, it's not really scenic. That's all you get. This just a mile upon and mile upon, well, 40 miles. When you get to the top, it's like you got to at least have a viewpoint on the top. No, it's just more mountains at the top. Just no big cathedral mountains. It's just this kind of mountains. The old mountains, the eroded old mountains with trees on them. Said that, it's probably a good spot to end the video because there's really no reason to keep watching this. And it's going to get dark, so I don't know how well the cameras are going to be doing anyway. Over here it gets almost flat for a little bit. It's a U-turn route. If you exit here, you can drive underneath the road to the other side and head back down the mountain. If you accidentally took this highway, didn't mean to, you can do a U-turn there and head back. But then immediately the climb continues back to steep. And it just keeps going and going and going. But anyway, thank you all so much for supporting me. If you guys are new or have just renewed your membership and don't see your name up there, remember, these videos are shot from 1 to 2 weeks before you guys get to see them. So if you are an existing member and your membership ended and you renewed the day later, if I happen to look at the membership list the day between you were not a member and I'm editing these videos, your name won't show up for that one video, or maybe 2 or 3 videos if I didn't have internet access to check the list again. I don't check the list daily. I usually check it 2 times a week or so. But if you renew, your name will show up again on the future videos. I appreciate you guys so much. Without you guys, it would be impossible to do this. So no matter which tier you guys are on, thank you. I know there's only one of you guys on the 3rd tier. Especially you, thank you. Appreciate that 3rd tier. That's amazing. For those of you running into some financial difficulties, just stop being a member. It's fine. You know, just keep commenting on the normal videos. Take a month off. take 2 months off, whatever you need, and then come back. It doesn't have to be weird. I never want to pressure people into having to stay as members. So if you guys feel like you need a break from membership, that's okay. You can do that. I absolutely need you guys to be members to make this work. But don't do it at the price of your financial risk. Only support me if your finances are 100% good. With the prices going up, it's getting harder and harder for all of us, right? So I'm going to be pleading for more money, but you guys are going to need more money too, so. And then if you guys are doing the higher tier and need to step back and go to a lower tier, perfectly. I don't differentiate between the tiers and the credits. That's just you guys deciding how much my videos are worth to you, so. And also, I'm releasing these videos to members on 2 channels now. On our 3J's channel or on the trucking channel. When I say 3rd tier, I mean on the trucking channel 3rd tier. If you're a member on the 3J's, your names will not show up in the credits at the end over here. If you're on the 3J's and you want your name to show up on the credits, head over to the main channel, the Juan Rempel channel, and become a member there. And that's how you get your name on the credits at the end. Because I'm trying to keep on top of 2 different that's going to be too much work trying to stay on top of 2 different channels and nope, too much. Besides, 3J's, you get your credits on every single live stream on that ticker that scrolls by. So you guys already have your name on the credits for the live streams. I think that's fair, right? One of you is a member on both channels. Thanks, Linda. Linda, I get the double dip. Appreciate that. But for now, well, it looks like someone else overheated and dropped their trailers and probably bobtailed back down. We'll take one last look at the temperatures here before I call it a stream. We are at 240 degrees Fahrenheit with a super light load. It's 23 degrees Celsius outside. Water temperatures at 210. Oil temperature shouldn't be 240 Fahrenheit, right? I think that's a fail. It's not redlining, which is 250, but if I load this light, I feel like those temperatures are too high. Anyhow, thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy all my truck problems the next 2 weeks videos. We do get some beautiful scenery, even though the audio is not awesome. We do get some beautiful scenery. For now, I am out of here. You guys absolutely rock.